Guard, TheScoreEsports.com, Mountain Dew, and ESEA.
Our second game of the night will conclude on Overpass. We just witnessed what NiP were capable of on Nuke. A rather explosive performance from them. See what I did there. Now, though, we do go into Overpass, and we're going to be seeing exactly if VP can bounce back. Just looking at their record as well, I had to ask if it was correct. Just having a little look down VP's recent successes, and it is just all good in the hood. 2-0 stomps versus some of the Europe's and America's best. So fantastic work from them. Now, though, will they be able to bounce back into Overpass? That's where our discussion starts. I've got Janko and Uber standing by with me. Janko, starting with you then. VP admitted, do we just take that Nuke result with a pinch of salt? It's not a map that they've practiced, and we focus all on Overpass.
I think we do. I think NiP, when with a stand-in, is a better team on Nuke than VP. But now on Overpass, I think it's a different story, right? I think that this is a map where NiP struggles more often than not, and VP is pretty confident on it. So I would expect VP to come much stronger on Overpass.
I mean, the weaknesses seem to be more strategy focused than individually, wouldn't you say, Mitch? It was you can see here examples of just NiP having a much better read on the polls on Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Forest controlling outside there really quite well. Disco Doppler getting involved. I mean, this situation, I think he actually lost his clutch ultimately. But yeah, I mean, we saw good individual performances there. I mean, I don't know. VP tried to play through Secret so much as well. Freiburg shut them down every time. Then 1v3 was pretty sick.
But into Overpass then, what are your expectations set at this point in time between these two teams? I mean, I can't help but feel that I just want to see more from Doppler. That's a fun storyline.
This is NiP's least played map, to be honest. And this is the only map. The last time they played it, it was the one map in that shocking series that actually managed to clinch against Flipside, who we actually thought were fairly decent on some customs and Overpass in general. So that was, I guess, one bright sign. Then they lose their crown jewel cash 16-2, right? So who knows? For VP, this is a bit better. This is where one of the maps they beat Astralis on in that major game. Of course, that was with Zonic. So take it with a pinch of salt. But this is far more familiar to VP than it is to NiP. It's kind of like NiP and Envious similar in the fact that they neither really like Overpass at all.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the kind of current rankings, and VP are up there in the kind of top 3, it seems, from some people's standpoint. Janko, where do you stand with VP? You've seen them, holding that E-League title. They proceed to go ahead and perform fantastically in that wildcard match. Where do you gauge their performance right now?
Well, I wouldn't know where to put them in terms of, a place on the top 10
let's not do
rankings.
That, yeah.
But I think that they're definitely back in the top echelon of CS, at least. I think they're in a position where they can challenge anyone, any of the other teams, especially on LAN.
Haven't they always been there?
Well, not maybe in the first couple of months of 2016, at least. I felt that they were in a slump, even though they themselves refused to admit it. But they've always played better on LAN than online, even in that slump. And now they're at a place where, as we could see at the major, again, the only team pretty much to challenge the major champions. So I feel that VP is definitely back on top, and they're here to contend for titles again.
Yeah, and just to make that statement as well, I brought it up when we were casting the wildcard match, but did you see what Taz's statement after the E-League and after all the criticisms that had been hailed at them about sticking together, making roster swap? Did you see that? And that's a pretty big statement from the in-game leader. I
mean, you need to have an incredible amount of confidence in your teammates to be able, to not make the roster change, right? You need, when things were so low, Penta, as you mentioned, some of the other games as well, I mean, it really takes a lot of willpower to not go for the easy move and make that roster change. Just believe in your teammates and believe that there are other things that you need to work on in order to get back to the top and not just replace someone.
Would I be foolish to say that VP, one of their best maps is Overpass? I remember for a while we were talking all about VP and being one of the stronger teams on Overpass. Am I foolish to say that?
I mean, not foolish. I think there are maps they're stronger on.
Sure.
Mirage, Train, probably the ones that come to mind first. But I think Overpass is up there as well.
Yeah, because I remember for a while we were waiting to see who was going to kind of become kings of Overpass, and I think VP were a name that was tossed around during that discussion for sure.
And Na'Vi in there as well, obviously pretty decent customs, and obviously Flipside in there as well. But it's one thing believing, self-belief is a tough thing as well, even when you're doing well. But when you're not doing well, believing in teammates is a whole different story. A whole different story. So, I mean, it's similar to NiP, though. They had a moment back in the sun. We thought NiP were back, and lately it's been a bit more of a recession or a bit more of a slump for them.
Sure.
But that was, again, off the back of just staying tight and playing with those 5 players, Pete, if you throw them in there as well, and just sticking to it.
Now, of course, they're coming back from this holiday as well. Yanka, you used to play, right? Did you feel the difference when you just take those 6 weeks, whatever it is, 2 months off and sit back down at the computer?
Well, it's not 2 months off, Alex. Come on, it's like two, 3 weeks.
It feels like a long time.
It's a couple of weeks, but I think the main difference comes when you're on a type of a holiday where you don't touch your mouse and keyboard at all. Like you travel somewhere, but if you're on a holiday from tournaments, I mean, if you play at home, then it's not that big of a difference. I think that, but most of the players actually went to, holidays where they didn't really have contact with the PC for 2 weeks, and then you can feel it because you can't remember what sensitivity even looks like, so you need some time adjusting back.
I loved all the players tweeting out there like 0.0 hours played in the past 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, all right. Pick up that mouse and keyboard. We're going to go ahead and throw it to 2 people who are all too familiar with Counter-Strike. It's going to be Henry G and Sadakis to guide you through our final map of the evening.
Are you familiar?
All too familiar. I need a haircut. Familiar. Yeah, I'm probably more familiar than the Valve devs are these days, to be fair.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, no, I know the game. I played it once or twice.
True.
I don't think you played much, though, did you?
Not much, no.
You came from Call of Duty?
Something like that, yeah. I think it was Tribes, actually.
Oh, yeah, good game that.
Yeah,
game that.
Very good.
Good lifespan of about 8 months. Overpass. We haven't seen this in a while. Obviously, we've been on vacation, but also we did cast Assembly last weekend, and it was not played. It was the only map not played.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, we're going to see it tonight. This is obviously a map NiP don't play that much. VP very well versed in it. I assume, considering they have a standard as well, Doppelin had a great game on Nuke, but I think it was like VP almost playing against himself. I don't really sure how it ended up on there, but for me, they never really arrived in the map. They're going to have a much better affair here. Although it is online, you never know what to expect from these guys in an online capacity. But here we go then. We do get into the first half of VP versus Ninja's Pajamas. NiP currently up 1-0. It's not a series in that sort of manner. That counts as a straight-up win, but I think we are live. Cuban was in the server, but dead now, of course. As we go to round
Thanks,
one.
Valve. You killed Cuban.
4 sets of armor, and it's going to be Neo with the defuse kit and 2 flashbangs as well. It's actually quite a simple buy here from NiP. Just 1 utility player. It's going to be Freiberg, but look at this aggression coming in from Pasha, pushing all the way down A long. He's actually got away with it as well. Gets the headshot, takes down Freiberg, but exists fighting back, finds Snacks.
So if by chance ESL is going to enforce this new ruling for online matches, does that mean an admin has to be in TeamSpeak? And no, Pasha, good shot on Get Right. When the coach talks, Pasha, another good shot onto Disco. Doppelin reload successfully done before they take him down. He nearly got a chance for more. Exist going to come back in and find one onto him, and then a follow-up from Forrest. We'll bring this back almost dead even. It's just a 1-minute advantage as Taz pulls it away, and they now have the last player spotted. He'll close it out on Forrest. But how do they enforce that throughout the regular season in online matches? Obviously, you can't.
Well, no, I think it'd be more of a LAN rule, if anything. It's probably that's why the coach probably still is viable, I guess. He can talk to them and kind of coach them on the online and the practice games, and then kind of getting his troops ready for the big LAN games and trying to make sure they're in
I guess you'd have to kind of like discipline yourself, though, because at some point you have to get them used to not having you.
I guess in online you can never actually do anything about that, but still, it's going to be 1-0 in favour of VP. That was a nice aggressive play from Pasha. Goes all to his long A, finds that first kill. We actually end up getting 3. Taz finished things off, getting on to 2-on-2, but it's going to be VP picking up that all-important pistol here. No bomb going down for NiP, so they will be force buying in the second here. It's going to be 3 Tech 9s, 2 BD50s. Freiberg, I'm not sure. He's gone for more of a utility-based play. He didn't get any armor himself. He's gone for the Molotov, the smoke, the flashbangs. And we'll see what he's bringing to the table as we do get to the closing sectors. It looks like they will be making their final move towards the A bomb site. 3 towards long, towards short, and the smoke going to be locking those players down towards bathroom for now. Snacks can just boost up himself to the bomb site. And we still have 2 smokes remaining for NiP. The idea here is just to get the bomb down, make things uncomfortable for the CTs as you're planting and using those wall of smokes to protect yourselves.
Snacks going to hug the corner to defend from default. As NiP taking the first game. Remember, this is not a series. Every game counts in the overall standings. Don't pick up the pistol this time, and it's Virtus.Pro who have the advantage with the economy and the weaponry. Not only that, an incredibly well-established crossfire as Snacks is able to get 1 from that position. He does get taken down eventually. And the interesting thing is, can NiP still get a plant out of this? Not quite. I don't think it's going to be easily achieved as Exists now the last alive. Taz has figured out his location. He does get 1 more into Bialy, but they do deny the bomb plant in the end.
Yeah, it's a VP. They dropped 3 players, but they did deny that bomb plant. So that does mean a guaranteed, I say a guaranteed, almost guaranteed one going to round of 3. It'll be the redundant round. NiP can't really justify anything much more than a couple of PT50s. That would be about it. And there's the first one purchased. What we see 2. There it is. Exist has got a smoke as well. And I guess that probably means get towards B, smoke heaven perhaps, or maybe just smoke directly on towards the site. Try and get a plant down, but it's very unlikely that's going to happen. Maybe focusing towards middle here, but Snax, he's ready with that UMP, boosting himself above the smoke as well. This could be the perfect way to find some unarmored players and find the initial kill, but he's going to be falling back for now. It's going to be NiP with a very slow approach. Like I said, with the unarmored players and just a couple of PT50s, you'd assume they try and group up, stay together and swarm onto a bomb site and try and find that opening kill that allows them to get a plant down. But there we go. Holding back. It's going to be VP playing quite a disciplined game here. They know about to fully go. Don't want to give anything away. Don't open the window at all for the Swedish side. But Snax, he's hunting for information right now. He's going to be heading towards the bathrooms as he does face towards long initially.
Snax. Players on either side, and has to read this right. Gets spotted up now from the 1 single player at long. That's going to push him back toward the 4 that are remaining, but a well-timed pop flash. He nearly gets all 3 of them. He does end up running out of ammunition. That allows Disco to at least clean him up in the end, but good damage dealt early on, as it is still a man advantage. And Pasha's going to try and come out and get aggressive as well. He needs to win this duel, though. He needs to capitalize on them being distracted. He's a little bit late. He's isolated himself down into almost a 1 versus 2 in this sense. So successfully dealt with because M4 going down that far away from the site in an easily grabbable position from NiP's side. It might have been interesting to see if they could go for a bomb plant, potentially even open up round a little bit more than that. But 3-0 now, so Virtus.Pro will collect all 3 of the opening rounds, and it's NiP that will finally bring out weapons.
Yeah, well, this is where things get interesting. Like we said before, NiP, not a map they're famed for playing particularly well. It's actually one of the maps they normally veto, but going into this with Disco Doppeln as well, it's going to be a very loose play style. I don't think they'll have the same sort of approach we saw on Nuke, where you just Doppeln kind of slotting in, and a map they look very confident on, but we'll see what the first gun round brings to the table. It's going to be an AWP in the hands of Snax here. Fast speed play, why not? Get the smoke on the bomb site, flashes go in, Molotov towards the barrel. It's up to Bialy to find his first kill, but he's falling back slightly here.
Freiburg gets the first kill. It's Bialy to go down, but Pasha gonna get back on Get Right. Watch Exist coming back in late, though. He's out towards short pipe right now, still at actually the outside of Monster. He's a long way removed from Disco's position. He was waiting for the rotations in the flank, but it's Disco instead who does all the work. Pasha and Snax go down, and that's huge because so far removed was Exist that this one-on-one could have just been a simple defuse on a 2-on-1 if Disco doesn't win that exchange, and it's Neo that has to try and clutch this back. Has a kit to do so, 2 kills in the round, but he's down to 48 HP. And Exist, you can just play the timing of the defuse. Goes for the peek, nearly catches him with the nade out. Instead, though, Neo, he's going to try and sell this. He's going to try and stick this. He's down to 1 second. Exist, does he get there in time? No, he does not. The defuse comes in, and Virtus.Pro, that's a round stolen. Exist has to be furious with himself after that.
It's one of those situations you think you've played it so perfectly right. You've showed yourself, you're jiggle peeking, you think you can just about see the bomb there. It was 1 flashbang from VP and going for that defuse. This is the play right here. You would assume when he does that kind of play, he's trying to bait you out once again. It's a bit of a mind game there. There was still time to defuse after that and Exist. He just didn't time that quite well enough in his brain. You need to be peeking like the 3rd or 4th seconds. You'd be counting as soon as you hit the defuse and just trying to stay alive. You know that player's low HP as well. It's a very disappointing situation to lose in. So there it is, 4-0. And it's going to be aggressive play here from Taz to open things up. Gets that first kill on to Get Right as well. This is a bit of a force buy front, and as you can see, they have got AKs available, but just very little in terms of the utility to play with here. So they've got smoke grenades remaining, but that's a nice push from Taz. He goes towards short, and actually has got in towards water as well. Snax, he's in towards the underpass, and that's another great opening frag. It's going to be a 5-on-3 now. This round is pretty much over. It was a default from NiP, but not really working together in the initial stages of the round.
That was so close. That kill came in so close. Like, the defuse hit at the exact second the bullet killed him, but I dare say Neo read that perfectly. He thought, okay, he's going to think I'm faking it. And you saw how quickly he got on the defuse because he knew it was all about timing in that sense. Either way, NiP, a round lost that should have easily gone their way, and now they're down 5 versus 3 in this one. Pasha already control of the underpass position in the stairwell. I can't really say underpass position. The whole map's called underpass, Henry. That doesn't really identify it.
Overpass?
It's like overpass. Well, you know what I mean. The same aspect. It's like saying on train, where is he? Upside the train. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But Pasha does have good ground to walk on here, and he's actually going to walk out perfectly. To limit the options by which NiP have, very limited options indeed. Disco does pick up 1 kill into Snax. Okay, finds Pasha immediately on the flank. He's got a 3rd. What is this accuracy? He's got this down to a 1 versus 2. It would be a 1 versus 5 for the stand-in, and the crosshair placement nearly perfect to catch Bialy as well.
That was kind of nuts. He's had a fantastic, well, series of a fantastic game on towards Nuke. He was actually, for me, like the MVP, as I said before. And that could have been so disgusting in a 1 versus 5 to have won that round. He actually came within touching distance as well. Absolutely rails these first 3 players, all headshots. And when you get in the zone like that, and you actually know where the remaining CTs are, that could have been very deadly for VP. They managed to win the round. It is 5-0, but it's going to be very costly to them going into round number 6. So we have got the AWP out, but you can see Pasha, he's down to a max 7. Sometimes not necessarily a disadvantage to a player like him. No scope from Snacks, though, as Disco Doplin trying to continue his form, does just push through the smoke with a flashbang. And here we go again. It's a bit chaotic. Get does find the kill there, but Pasha, he's just lurking. He's hiding in that smoke. Just let himself be known there, but only gets 1 for it. Had that first shot connected properly, possibly could have got 2, but still it's a 3-on-3, and Forrest getting himself in a great position there. Taz, is he expecting this? Yes, he is
pushing out. Yeah, apparently so. But Exista's could have got decent position here because he can. Oh, the missed shot. That's going to give away a little bit. Low HP. Panic spray. Can't connect on Neo. He could have had this down to the 1-on-1. A successful shot, and now it's dead even because the headshot potential behind the flower bed, and Exist goes back to 10 HP. You thought him walking out late might have worked for him because they'd already advanced. They'd already walked out of the site. It was flank potential, but 6-0 now for Virtus.Pro's. Bialy comes over late in the rotation, and it's going to be. Yeah, okay, lost round bonus, but a situation where NiP have gone so aggressive with their buys, they're quite limited here.
Just have to do a partial buy this round. Obviously, you get $3,400. You can see that reflected right now. It looks like they will be. Okay, is this a force? You can see Get Right, I guess he had a little bit more money than everyone else. They do keep their money about the $1,000 mark. So he still can get full AKs next round, but Get Right investing a little bit more. He's got the AK-47 and body armor. For us, this suggests he wants an AWP next round. He's just got a Tech 9 and nothing else. So, sniper rifle for Forrest next round, a change of pace. The defaults, although they are working, they're not getting any rounds on the board as of yet. So they want to see if they can change their approach slightly. It's going to be Pasha a bit more aggressive this round as he does face towards bathroom, using that smoke to give him a bit more cover. And this could be deadly for him. I think he will be taken down here. There it is. Doplin does find some decent timing there. It's up to Neo. A lot of aggression. Players coming into his screen left, right, and center. They actually need to be a bit careful here.
What's next? Preemptive strike through the smoke from the wall spot. Disco again going to show off some accuracy. He finds Taz. Get Right's done the same into Snacks, and that's 2 guns down. A suddenly frantic and chaotic position for Neo to be, and he tries to catch them off by rotating around as they walk in, past them as they go through, but it only elects for 2 kills, and Get Right finds him immediately after. The Molotov will limit the last remaining Virtus.Pro player, Bialy, on the stairs, and it's over toward the bank instead that he tries to rotate and come back into the site.
Yeah, very nice Molotov thrown from the terrorist there to funnel Bialy towards this bank area. If he gets his first kill, there definitely is a possibility of winning this round. There it is. Now it's all down to Exist. Has to find his kill, timing working in his favor though. Just as Bialy jumps in for the APC to check towards long, he faces perfectly, and that's actually a really good play from him. Doesn't have much to work with. He's only got the rifle in hand and no grenade, so he wants to be aggressive and see if he can knock it down. And if this just goes to show you how close some of these rounds have been, Matt. Even though they've won 6 in a row, the first round that VP lose, they actually go down to a full eco here. So now NiP really have a serious chance to build some of their own cash flow and to get back into this game. What it looked like in terms of the scoreline, a game that's going in one direction, this is actually completely turned on its head. This could mean 2 rounds in a row now for NiP. All towards B.
Oh, yeah.
Contact play. This is, considering the circumstance, it's a perfect call.
Yeah. This is one of those weird rounds we get 10 alive, excuse me, when the bomb goes down. Get Right just watching the most likely case of rotation in through the stairwell at construction. Pit covered off. As to his jungle, it's Forrest instead who finds Snacks finally getting into the spawn, and now they know for a fact they are rotated back that direction. But interestingly enough, VP's actually reacted to this quite, I won't say cleverly, but in a decent way. They've got 2 players on either side of the escape route from B, so they're just playing for the exit kills at this point. They won't commit, no matter which way NiP go, they have to have a fight. Chance you isolate, you get a pistol kill, you pick up a gun to carry over.
Yeah, that's pretty much all they can hope for here. They have a couple of CZs, not really worth saving those, but...
Not to mention as well, with the reset potential, every kill counts.
Oh, Disco Doplin, he finds the 2nd kill here for NiP. He's the stand-in if you are just joining us, wondering what the hell's going on. It's Pitt, who's currently injured. Well, I think it's a wrist injury. What's up?
4th injury on a notable roster this year.
Yeah, but it's been a holiday season. Was it from gaming related or something else? I didn't actually get a chance to read the article.
Yeah. I think, was it Yanko that suggested it might have been something else? I think he was a little bit excited. No, I think what they actually said is that he's had an issue previously, if you read the statement. So he had actually an issue leading up to the break, and they were monitoring it. They were hoping the 2 weeks would be enough to cure it.
Oh, I see.
And it wasn't. And where it wasn't, that rose more, it brought up more concern, and therefore they're forcing him to be benched, because now they have to deal with it. They thought that alone would kind of heal it. It didn't.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Better safe than sorry, you know. And it's going to be Bialy aggressive and towards shot, actually pushing towards water here, and actually going to get himself in a very advantageous position. This could be very interesting, but we'll see as NiP do the contact play. Once again, these simple plays can be best when you are slightly underprepared, I guess, and that's exactly why Disco Doppelin does open things up. Gets that first kill on towards Neo, but it's up Taz now mowing them down on the UMP. Both headshots should be punished here, which he is. Get Right takes him on, and it's going to be a 3 versus 3 now.
Bialy outside of his own sight, and going to stay that way as well as they get a Molotov down. Disco's got another kill again in this round. This guy's got some good opening potential on the terrorist side. We saw him have an excellent CT side nuke. Okay, great. He won his duels. That was the big thing. He won his duels. His accuracy was there, but it is CT side nuke. It's a little bit easier to let it play into your hands. Now he's actually taking fights and still coming out successful. It's 3 straight rounds as Get Right closes it, and Disco again is the one on top of the scoreboard right now for NiP.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Freiberg is down at 1 for 8 after he got a very important kill into the B-bomb, so it wasn't in the first round. But still, round number 10 comes in, and this is what I'm talking about. The VP economy has been heavily affected from these big rounds, and it's going to be another full eco here. So this game is definitely nothing but over as we go into the eco from the Polish squad. They're going to have a couple of CZs, PT50 and Snacks with this silence UMP, USP, and doesn't get much for his money there. So they're taken down by Exist, and it now is the 5-on-4. This round is almost certainly going in favor of the Swedes here. It does take a fair amount of damage there, 96 to be exact. And now at this point, it's just waiting for the remaining CTs to show themselves.
Forrest downs Bialy. Conclusion to a pretty straightforward round. Neo tries to slide along the wall, doesn't really get acceleration from doing so. Pasha does get Disco down though, and that's a gun potential to grab. Okay, that definitely is a gun, because Exist down at Fountain. 55 seconds, and NiP started to slow off considerably so they could just figure out what the last 2 remaining players were and keep their economic advantage alive. Well, now they've got a problem, because Get Right's only on 4 HP. They've picked up an AK-47 on Pasha. This is suddenly a reasonable situation for them to be in, and Neo as well is going to play this choke point at the boards, get a headshot lineup. Oh, but the crosshair placement, that's the thing. There's so much possibility to enter in on different angles from there, and Get Right, or rather, excuse me, Forrest walks in so far back to the wall, towards the wall, the headshot potential's not there, and they'll close it out and make it 6-4. So reasonable, all things considered, for VP.
Yeah, I'd say that's reasonable. Well, 6-4 then. We are getting to the closing sectors of this first half on Overpass. It is going to be a decent buy for VP. No AWP in the hands of Snacks though, and it's going to be Forrest. He'll be wielding that very weapon, and he's going to be adjusting his economy. He's got tons of money available, so drops a weapon for a teammate. This is Neo doing that smoke towards Monster. Doesn't decide to throw it though. Lined up for it, but thought better of it. As we go to round number 11, it's going to be Snacks getting a little bit aggressive here. Fluffs his line with the flashbang there. Second one works out a little bit for him. And we'll see what the approach is from NiP, going a little bit aggressive towards B once again. Do you know when we talked on the show yesterday and I said Get Right is known for doing these kind of weird plays, especially on the big games on LAN? Yep. That's a prime example of it there. That's how can you even, if you go through and get all the kills, it looks amazing, right? But it's very unlikely you're going to do much of that. You're walking for a smoke. And he did that a lot on LAN. Some of the big events we were at. And for me, I watched that and I was like, what's the best case scenario there? You go in and get 1 kill, then you get refragged. Like, it's so risky. It's been a while since he's had that I think just in general, the skill ceiling has been closed. That was skill gap has been closed. That was the exact point I was making yesterday. Like, what is that play? Like, I can't even imagine Threat saying, "Go on, Get Right, you should push for that smoke and see what happens." We have no idea what will happen. Get Right Threat can't say anything now, right? So. Well, yeah, now he can't, of course. Yeah. But I'd just be like frustrated. No, I get your point, and it is true. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen Get Right get away with that kind of stuff. It's like, you know, it's not 2012, it's not 2013 anymore, and he's tried to go back to more of a lurker role, I think, in the last year, because they got some success early on with it. But yeah, you're right. Those plays do not work. Like, the risk-reward factor heavily outweighs it. So yeah, Snacks, he'll play Park Sign. Pasha forward, tries to flash from. It was really the only opportunity they had to get Pasha out of that situation because he was so far removed. But Snacks certainly makes up for it. AWP now grabbed. He just has to watch the shuffle as they scurry in for the front of bathrooms. But as we saw, the rotation coming over, and it is going to be Neo there as well. They lock out Disco. Bomb goes down again, and it's going to be Freiberg, 13 seconds to die. And I do say that with reason. Obviously, going down after that, it's going to be a problem for the economy. So he needs to get out right now. That smoke's not even going to let him be visible until this is... He's just trying to die now, thankfully. You can just see what he's doing. He's like, well, if I do go down without this, I get absolutely no money going for... Well, I guess it's not even a big deal. Look at the amount of cash they've got. No, but play the long game. Well, I think at this point, yeah, you're probably right. There's probably arguments for both sides of it. If he'd have gone in and dented the economy of the CTs, if he got like 1 or 2 kills, that'd have been definitely worth it, but it was so unlikely at that point. But yeah, regardless, it's 7-4, and it will be money still available, of course, for the Ninjas. I think Get Right had about 6k, probably on 4 even after the rebuy, and it's going to be round number 12 here. We'll see if there's any more aggression coming in from VP. Also, there's a little bit more of a pass around, not going towards that connector area. Snacks does boost over that mid smoke there. It's going to be very effective to find those first kills, but no one challenging just yet. You can see how defensive on the minimap NiP are being right now, just holding completely as a unit. There will be one player towards the playground area. I think that's Exist. We'll see if he can do anything with this first kill. But, oh, okay. Snacks, I thought he'd hit that all day long.
Didn't, though, did he? It's nighttime, Henry, that's why. And as he retreats, he gets caught. Freiburg, fast to act. In fact, takes down Pasha, despite taking initial damage in the duel and before he could snap his aim over toward him. So, good pick to grab. Neo nearly snaps back to find it, but Freiburg has 3 on 3 HP. If he had it on the spray transfer faster, Neo, it would have worked out. Finally, Taz will put him down, and even in that situation,
no need for Freiburg to do that, but Forest does recover. It was a situation where they had everything locked down. Freiburg runs and gives a kill away. Could have opened up the floodgates there, but luckily, Forest on form does bring it to the 3 versus 1. It's going to be Bialy coming in from CT Spawn, and hopefully trying to crack this side open with that initial entry kill.
Bialy does find Forest. Give himself a chance in this, as he does have a kit to work with still. Last time we saw a kick come down to a clutch moment, we saw what happened. He'd be able to pull it off in the last second. This time, not so much. Exist. He'll redeem himself at least this time, make it 7-5. Still in the favor of Virtus.Pro. CT side, Overpass, for those of you listening on radio.
On the wireless.
Yeah. What's the thing you always used to say?
What?
For those of you who still are on black and white.
Yeah, that was the snooker joke.
Yeah, that's right. That was a good one.
Those were good times. I can't remember the exact joke, but yeah, it was good.
One of your only ones.
one of my 2015 collection, I think. But there we go then. It's going to be round number 13. It's VP saving for that round into the last. But 4 PT50s. Taz going to be on that USP. And Get Right, he's going to be mopping them up here. It's a bit of a rough half, but like he will be picking a few up here. Actually, Taz is with that. As mentioned, default pistol does take them down. It's going to be just Pasha remaining though, 4 versus 1. And he is so far removed from the situation, it's pretty crazy. He's going to spin towards the connector, hoping he can find Exist, but Exist ready for this one. This is almost a guaranteed death at this point.
Well, you were right. It was indeed. And they'll close that gap to 7-6. And as we hit round 14, the money situation is as such that if Virtus.Pro don't win this, they'll be having the save for 15. They could actually end up being on the bottom side of the scoreboard this half, despite starting out, what was it?
That was 6-0.
Yeah, exactly. 6-0 and then 6-4 to be fair. They did start stringing them together, but yeah, that'd be a pretty interesting turn of events. Pasha as well, limited onto a Mag 7 this time around, so even in this round, they've elected to bring out the utility rather than the guns. They're still quite frugal, I guess you could say, as Snacks gets out toward long. He's going to try and use this to bait them in toward Pasha's shotgun. So he's peeking toward the playground. And Pasha's just holding the tight angle along the wall. As soon as Snacks fires one shot and runs, Pasha will catch them as they try and pursue. But it's Freiburg to start things off against Neo, and Snacks, he'll get that back against Exist. So there's the kill. That's successful. And as they rotate back, though, Pasha's going to stay there. The problem is now they have to consider this bathroom position that Disco's got. No one stays inside of the A site directly with 2 players at long. And it's going to be the rotation of Taz as the first to try and shut them down. Both players blinded, both players weakened, but Disco's the one to fall at the hands of Taz. And Snacks will come back to try and help him, but look at the amount of smoke. There is a gap, though. A massive gap, but a leg shot instead. It's Get Right jumping across, and Freiburg gets the information off of that. It's now all on Pasha on the flank. Drops bomb, nades coming in, and he's going to try and work this from bathrooms as Forrest blinded out. It'll buy time as well for Bialy, who just gets to the main stairs now, but Forrest walks in, close shot, bomb still on the stairs, and 45 seconds to work with for NiP. And as they recover that bomb, they already elect to run back, and it baits out Bialy. Freiburg sits and finds the kill.
Freiburg's had a really decent half. He's actually been really crucial in a lot of these situations. He only has 9 kills. I think it was quite quiet for the first 5 or 7. Maybe he was on 1, 4, 6, something like that. But these rounds he's been winning toward the latter stage of this first half. He's actually been pretty influential. And it's going to be 7-7 here. That's a massive round for VP to lose, especially Snacks. That massive gap in the smoke. He can't hit the shot. Well, he does. He doesn't get the kill, and that means he gets to give his position away. And that's when NiP really capitalized. So round number 15, it's just 4 pistols and a Mag 7 in the hands of Pasha. But Freiburg, he's really waiting for them in the connector area. They may have a flash to face him, but looks like they'll just be holding on with that shotgun. I don't think they can really do much with this situation. And now they're smoked out. That's pretty much a call to fall back and reposition.
That was misthrown by Snacks. Tried to bounce it into the playground rather than into his own face. Pasha, though, with the shotgun. And the positioning from VP aggressively toward that stairwell. No lower tunnel. Means they've got information. Snacks as well pushing through this playground, but Freiburg's waiting. If they walk down around that corner, he's there. The smoke will allow potentially them to get to the doorway without him spotting them, so instead he goes for the Molotov because they know they have to rotate over toward BVP. But look at Snacks. The thing is, they're going to rotate to get out of that position with that smoke. One goes through, they're going to rotate back around, and they think it's over toward B, but they've slowly slipped through the only crack available at the stairs, and Snacks now hears them, so what's the call going to be as they leave Forest? Snacks didn't hear him scope in there, but he's gonna, I mean, this is an interesting one. When you look at the minimap, everyone's everywhere, and there's no real information that's actually accurate at this point in time because Snacks is now gonna call, yes, for sure, they've gone back to B, but Forest is walking down toward bathrooms, and that single kill inside the stairwell means they can rotate back. Instead, they'll be Ali. He shuts down one, it's Get Right. That comes in and takes Taz, and Snacks might find him in return, but it's still the man advantage to make that doubly so for NiP as Freiburg finds Snacks. Bomb drop, though. Neo nearly snapping his aim over, and Freiburg will close at 8-7, so they do win the half after going 0-6.
That's kind of impressive. Like we said, this is a map NiP aren't really famed for playing too much these days, and they've got a stand-in as well playing for them in the form of Disco Doppler. They managed to actually recover from a 6-0 deficit. Fair play to them. They kept things pretty simple there. There's working the map control, contact plays towards B. A few hiccups here and there with that full defuse coming in at the mistake of exist.
That was a bit.
Someone did tweet me actually. It was an interesting idea. The fact that the flashbang popped and he defused at the exact right time. Maybe there was something going on there.
I wasn't, because the way he did it looked very intentional, and that was kind of what I was saying on like Nuke. If you had a flashbang, you could have timed it in that smoke to disguise the defuse.
Yeah.
But even still, Exist, I think, should have checked that.
Yeah, of course. I think I think this was a mistiming thing on his behalf. But regardless, NiP winning that first half, that's pretty good news for them. And I'm sure this one's only going to heat up. I feel like it's going to be a very close scoreline to finish things off. So we'll see how that one pans out. I think we'll take a very quick break here. That's normally how it works out, isn't it, Matthew?
That is how it works.
You're normally the host there. I'm trying to take over.
It's fine. You need to do something to stay relevant. We're going to take a break, come back halftime 2 in just a second. Hello. There's music still playing.
Yeah,
That's something weird.
Disco Doppler.
Whoa.
Got there first. I think I was
I think it was the same time. Can we just go with the chemistry? All right. Thanks, bud.
Well, second half, Matt.
I was kind of gentle on that one. I'm sorry. I should have.
That was actually pretty hard. Actually, a little bit too close to comfort of pain, but you know, it's okay.
Thought that's how you liked it. But yes, second half,
Yeah.
8-7, NiP go down 0-6, win the T side of Overpass. And once again, Virtus.Pro coming out a little flat to start off a Pro League season online.
Yeah, I guess that's very true. We thought this map would be like almost guaranteed victor for them going into this one. Nuke was an unknown quantity. We weren't sure what to expect, but NiP really showed up 13-2. Overpass 6-0 for VP. Thought, okay, they've turned up. They're going to draw things up, but got a real chance to lose this one now. This could be interesting, but I think the pistol is about to begin, so we'll see what goes down here. VP swapping over to the T side, and it's going to be 3 sets of armor for them, and Neo with the smokes and snacks as well. A couple of flashbangs in there. This would suggest a B-sided play. You get a smoke on the side, smoke towards heaven, try and get the bomb down, but we'll see what they bring to the table here.
Well, Forrest, famed for his pistol rounds throughout the history of his career, although I will say if there's ever been a slump for that stat, it's been in the last, I would say, 8 months even. So see if we can get things started this time with the USP as he falls back to the side. It's Bialy instead that's going to walk up. They've already got one player. I believe Pasha has cleared out long, so now it's going to be straight onto the A side. Exists the only one out there, though. Good read. Freiberg isn't quite in the A side. He's in the window just below, but that's a fast enough rotation. It's a pretty good read from NiP, actually, early on.
We'll see what happens here. It's going to be the execution towards that A side. The smokes come in. It's at the Forest now. See if he can get that first headshot. Actually gets a double there. I think that was some sort of collateral. That was kind of insane, but there it is. It's going to be the 4 versus 2 now in favor of the Ninjas. As a boosting coming in from CD Spawn as well. Intelligent play. I like this. And you can see that's just the plan coming in just to try and guarantee them something out of this round. They know they're up against it.
And the one thing is that will allow the economy to get rolling a little bit earlier for Virtus.Pro, but very good shot from Disco as well. And as you say, Forrest does get 2. This takes Pasha. They lose Freiberg in the process, so Neo can try and bait this out. There is one kid in play, though. It's a lot of time to buy when he's only got 10 HP, and quite frankly, not a lot of room to wiggle as he sits on this box, but that gives him a gift. He nearly got caught Exist with the grenade out. That could have made things really interesting.
A kill, I would say, Neo probably should have picked up. Bit of a whiff with the aim of the Glocks there, but still, if he'd got that kill, could have repositioned and made things very interesting indeed. But it's going to be 9-7, and we'll see what VP decide to do. I'm going to speculate they won't be buying into this one. I think the AKs in the third is a much better protocol, but you can see with the kills they got, they could definitely force something. They could get a couple of AKs and maybe a Galil, but they will be taking the conservative route and going for just the Deagle, a P250, and a flashbang. I think another plan down here as well. That'd be very interesting, to say the least. And we'll see whether the CTs can push out. A little bit aggressive is going to be Forrest. And that's the first headshot. It's going to be the CTs getting punished there.
Pasha walks into it. Just walks into it. Just gift it to him as Forrest waits at the fountain. No idea that he was that close to the wall, Henry. How dramatic can we make it sound?
I think we can go even more.
Well, Forrest is going to go even further because he's got Neo. Snacks shows himself, nearly caught him as he watched toward the top of the doorway at the stairwell, and now Snacks has elected to run away in fear. Cower away from the mighty Forest. Would you go into the Forest at night?
Not with you.
Fair enough. Didn't say it was an open invitation, but all right, fair enough. I'll leave that open for interpretation. Well, Exist fires in through Monster. He'll find Snacks, and they have rotated back over. So another good read from NiP to let this round sort of progress, as it were. And Forrest was so far out, they had all the information. In fact, he goes for the full rotation. Bomb down, Taz last alive. Jumping up, though, he will give his position away. It doesn't matter, because an M4 versus a measly weak Taz with a pistol. Not really a challenge, is it?
Not really, indeed. So it's going to be 10-7, and we do get to, I guess you could say, the first gun around here. So it's going to be VP after getting that bomb down on the pistol. They will have AK-47. You can see NiP adjusting himself. They've got now 4 rifles, and as we mentioned before, the UMP definitely a viable weapon now in today's meta. And it's going to be possibly some sort of aggression for NiP. When you know the AKs are coming out and you're going to be struggling for rounds, you want to try and get that first pick and knock down the initial play from the terrorist side here. There's that smoke towards Monster Tunnel. Maybe a little bit too deep. We'll see what they decide to do here. Okay, right, just throwing all his utility to the side of the round. Towards Shorts, towards Monster. And this is the aggression I'm talking about. See, Doppler has completely locked them out. The smoke towards the connector area. Good information going on here. If you can find that first pick, that has been such a beneficial moment for them in this round. Number 3, yeah.
Oh, Disco. Little shoulder check down the hallway, won't spot Taz. Disco's going to retreat backwards. Double man stack out in front of the bathrooms. It's a one and done. It is a tough position. You have to win the trade-off. after the initial pick to make this viable for escape, because the man boosting you has to protect you from the opposite angle, and they are going to get close to that. Sees Bialy leaving out from the doorway, tries to get out wide to get the shot, but in doing so, he's missed the opportunity to find Taz. Now they've got to run, escape, scurry back to the site, and they're left in the open and vulnerable. In doing so, Forrest gets caught for exactly that reason, and now leaves Get Right in the open. And that boost, again, you've got to make it work or cut your losses early, and unfortunately, they make the decision at the wrong time. Pasha now getting exist, but all right, we're not done just yet. Freiburg and Disco finding kills. 2 versus 2, and Bomb out toward long, been dropped as Disco again comes up clutch inside of the site. He goes down to a measly 15 HP, but Snacks still has 2 to find after him, or rather 1 to find after him, 2 total. And he's done so in grabbing the bomb. 9 seconds, has to commit to this plant.
That's a little bit of an interesting play from Freiburg. Why is he finding incendiary there? It didn't land on the bomb. It didn't land on the bomb site. All that's really done is say, look, I'm over here, and you know I've got the UMP, so you can adjust accordingly and completely outposition me and have greater firepower as well. Should be dead now. There it is. I couldn't really tell you what the incendiary is for. I guess he maybe thought, oh, there's 9 seconds left. I throw this directly on the bomb. I've won the round, but was nowhere near deep enough. That's going to be VP picking up that 3rd round force buy. So there it is. NiP don't really have enough to force into the situation. They could get 3 rifles. 2 of them will be pharmacists. Looks like they'll be going for a more modest approach. They still have the lead, and it should be quite an easy affair for VP. You can see Freiburg has gone for the Mag 7. And a Zeus in the hands of Get Right. Could we jump on Get Right and see what he's up to? Let's see what he brings to the table out. Not much. I think he can probably get off him now.
Well, you asked, so you shall receive. It's Rushley that you're asking.
Yes,
okay?
well,
it's very
am
rare.
I being punished now for asking? So I have to watch the whole round?
I was going to say you should look at it the other way. This is a gift, because it's very rare Rushley does anything right. So he went there. You should just be thankful about that, Henry. To be fair, he sacrificed his bottle of water to give to me earlier when I was quite parched. So I can't be hard on Rushley.
Well, it's been mean after he helped you out. Take it back.
Look, Rushley's been putting a lot of time lately, still staying on Get Right, of course.
Yeah, this is
into CS, and it's taken away from his virtual reality world where he checks passports, okay? And it's a sacrifice we've all had to live through. Taz going to take Forrest. Disco Doplin taken down by Taz, and we are still staying on Get Right. He is absolutely punishing us right now. As Bialy finds exist, he's probably got up and left the computer. The good news is that Get Right does have that Zeus still, so
it's coming.
We might see something.
The moment we've all been waiting for. He will get a Zeus kill, and I predicted it, so we're going to have to see if that works out. We've missed every other kill at the sacrifice for the joke, but I think it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. It's your fault for setting us to Get Right, so it's not Rushley's fault.
I did say I just wanted to see where he's going. Oh, did he? Oh, here we go.
Yes.
There it is.
Yes, it was well worth it. It paid off in the end, Rushley. You are a god-tier observer. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise publicly on a stream ever again. As Get Right.
Here's the Zeus moment. This is going to be so sick.
This actually could be sick. Oh, there it is. Observer Rush. They put it up to Bialy. Gets him in the end. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out, but we did see the 1 kill we wanted.
We did, and that's what I wanted to see, I have to say. And it's going to be a fellow investment here from the CTs. I think they got Forrest. He's glass cannon for now, but he does have enough money to balance the books a little bit. So what's Doppling going to be left on? I think that Forrest didn't have enough to drop, so what's the play? So yeah, okay, so that's the compromise. You get Forrest the AWP, but it's going to be Disco Doppling. I have to say one of the strongest players of this evening. He'll just be on the CZ and smoke grenade. So you'd assume he'll be holding a tight angle somewhere, maybe towards connector. And Forrest does need to find this first pick, which he does do as well. Takes down Neo. He's actually swapping over the weapons here. What's the idea behind this? Okay, I'm trying to work this out. So Forrest gets the first pick. Falls back. He normally is the AWP for NiP. And he gives the AWP towards Doplin. I don't know. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, but hey, maybe we've got some sort of sick plan for Doplin as we go to round number 5.
Forrest nonetheless. Sees at 75. Close angle. Needs to pick up at least 1 kill in this situation. They're rotating a second player back over the format. Get Right to the site. They completely overlook him. He does get the 1. That's Bialy down. Okay, Surge traded, but that's decent situation for the pistol and information gathered. The rotation justified, but Get Right's getting aggressive rather than sitting and being complacent, turtling up inside of the site, as they do have the 2-man advantage. Taz is trying to cower away from this with a flashbang and now smoke over as well. Disco nearly body blocked that inadvertently. Could have been an interesting position to be in, but Get Right again. Forward now, excuse me, of these smokes can actually shut down on entry. Pasha might get caught out by Freiburg instead. And there's 1 down. There it is. Get Right just waited. Finds Taz. 11-9 now in favor of Ninjas in Pajamas. And money is... It's reasonable on VP's side, but it's not great across the board. They are actually going to try and get into this as fast as possible with AK-47s, but it's going to be Tech 9 for Pasha only, and Op comes out on Forest again this time. His spawn is very far forward as well.
Doplin leading the charge once again. He's got 19 kills here on the second map of this evening, so that's kind of insane. And considering he's a standard for anyone who's not sure. But we'll see. Round number 6 goes down. It's 11-9 in favor of the Ninjas right now. As you said before, not the best buy for Virtus.Pro. They're actually going to be going for more of a contact player towards short. One player in the form of Taz leading the way, and he actually nails the headshot as well. Catches Freiburg with the smoke in his hand. It's up to Exist now. Defend off the attackers. Does not work out for him as well, but Get Right, he has rotated over, and here's the last line of defense here on the B-bomb side.
Well, Get Right does go down eventually. Didn't buy quite enough time for Forrest to come in on the flank with the AWP, so Bomb's going to go down. Disco, the man to attack first. He has the rifle to try and force the issue, but Forrest needs to get by the short pipe. Neo finding him. That might be the invitation for Disco to get out. The problem is, how can he? There's a Molotov behind him. He's on the inside of it, and although that was intended to hold off the retake, it actually favors VP in the end because there's no way to escape with the M4, as NiP now have their economy torn to shreds. And, okay, they could force out some pistols on 3 players. Freiburg, Exist, and Forrest. They're not really in a good position long-term in this game, because we're 1 round the difference now.
Yeah, this is definitely still anyone's game going forward. 11-10, and with this kind of buy, you assume it's going to be tied up at 11-11, just 4 USPs, and Freiburg's on the Zeus this time, so I guess we have to jump on him. We have no choice. So here it goes. We are stuck on Freiburg for the rest of this round. So Matthew, please, take it away.
Well, my prediction is actually we're not, because he has already trolled this once, and as soon as he switches away, Freiburg is going to get a Zeus kill.
Okay, that's your prediction.
Yeah, Caster's Curse. But either way, very straightforward panned out default from Virtus.Pro.
He bottled it.
Doesn't matter, they're going to go. He's the one that potentially could catch this trade, but Get Right does it alone now. The decision, do they fall or stick there? Because they've gotten a kill. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter at this point in time because VP found all the ensuing kills. No gun to be grabbed, no additional duel and trade potential to bring it down to lower numbers. As Virtus.Pro is going to tie this up, it's going to go to 11-11. Disco Doplin of Epsilon, the last player alive.
Indeed. And we'll see if we can do anything. With this P250, the bomb will be planted towards B. At this point, if he can just find some sort of weapon, an upgrade, any sort of grenade, that'd be fine. But he is pretty far away from anyone on the map right now. It's going to be actually Pasha waiting towards our party area. And he's actually not facing at all. He's just looking towards bathroom. So this is going to be quite a slow process, I think, as Doplin does get towards the connector area. Undetected for now, but I'm sure he's just hoping he can find an escaping player at this point. He'll allow probably the bomb to explode at this point, see if he can hear some footsteps as they exit the site. And there's just giving him this position away. Now has been spotted by Viali. Surely the round over. He does get the headshot as well. That's pretty impressive. And does get punished again. But still, managing to get any sort of kill on that situation was pretty good. Round number 8, things have been tied up. So this will be a very important round for both teams, especially for NiP in the economic game. As you can see, they're struggling this round. Get Right on the UMP, and no AWPs available. There's only 1 kit, no head arm, obviously not a huge deal against the AKs. And we have got a few grenades to play with. It's kind of a setup they're going for here. As the smoke goes towards Monster once again, Taz will be working the connector area.
Taz, Molotov down early will prevent NiP from trying to get a footing inside of that stairwell. At least one that can prevent him and his team from catching up construction. Pasha instead, though, through smokes, additional 1 thrown on bathroom. He can get actually into a decent position here as well. So small gains in map control right now. As Forrest still, though, has the angle. It's checked. Taz nails the headshot. Disco's got to retreat. He's got to go back to the site in this because his wingman, his person to cover off the information, has gone inside of that stairwell. And Get Right caught out with a flash, comes out to try and support him. It goes down, and that's a big whiff. Disco, he's been so good all night with his accuracy. Just completely blunders the spray. Pasha gets him, and Virtus.Pro is actually going to take back the lead in this, and it'll be Freiburg at least picking up a kill, but 4 versus 2, already looking to save because nowhere near the site is Exist.
It's a nice fast round there from VP. And only Pasha drops as well, but he did the initial damage, getting 2 kills for himself. And now Freiburg Exist. We said the money situation was pretty dire, and this certainly won't help, as it will be VP taking the lead now as they go to 12-11. Existing towards T-spawn and hunting for something here. It doesn't even look like he's trying to save at this point. He looks like he's actively trying to push the map and see if he can find any unsuspecting players. But as he goes towards connector, this will probably be his final destination. Actually, he wants to keep going a little bit more. Okay. think he's going to run into anyone just yet. Might just get away with this one. Get some footsteps there. Snacks probably doesn't need to commit when he's got the AWP in his hand. And there it is. Exist will survive, and then you can see the money on the screen right now. It's going to be pretty shocking for them going forward, and it's going to be the closing sectors of this second half. You can see the frags right now on your screen. It's Freiburg. It's actually pretty even on the NiP squad, you know. Everyone's about the 15-16 mark. Just Doplin, he's on 20 frags, of course, the mercenary, actually stepping up, giving himself a pretty good showing here in this series, man. You have to say, like, this is a player who doesn't actually play Tier 1 CS. He plays just below it. He's in Tier 2, I'd say. So that's pretty interesting for him. I think that guy's got a very bright future ahead of him the next year.
I would say so. I think absolutely, there's no question about it. Snack's going to get forced as the first of the rushing pistols of NiPs goes down at the side of the map, and Taz just peeks forward to see if anyone else is there, but Bialy already clearing off B. Interesting thing is he hasn't gone all the way through this. They're still going toward the NiP players, and it's not really a stack at this point in time, mind you, but it does amount to a kill for Disco. So another gun down, but Virtus.Pro primed and ready to take yet a further lead, a 2-round lead. Although Get Right's gone for this big flank, Taz is already considering it. Timing is everything, though. Doesn't actually go for the peak. He could have potentially caught Taz off, but Snacks goes back to Fund Exist, and that's right, writing on the wall. As you would say, Henry, the round over.
I think a lot of people would probably say that.
That's exactly, you're smart.
That's like one of my catchphrases.
It is.
Is it? Anyway, 13-11, Matt. As you would say, make a wish. Is that when you do it? 13-11?
Yeah, for you, mate, just make as many wishes as possible. You need them.
Probably, first of all, I've been wishing my whole life. The core got me. I had a lifetime sentence sat next to Matthew Truitt.
That's, wow, when you say my full name, I realize how detrimental to your health that could be. You made it very serious. So well, Get Right lining up a smoke out toward Monster. Taz.
Double upset up.
Caught. Forrest catching this. I mean, one of the ops already paying off dividends as they catch the first kill onto Snacks. It's Taz that's in toward the construction position. Cheeky little wall bang. Not going to amount to anything, but this is a good start as Forrest now is going to rotate over to Jungle. They'll go with a more passive crossfire to allow them into the site. Freiburg being one of the 2 players involved in it. Exist is the other. But the rotation's coming in from VP, slowly leaving that B area, and the bomb in the hands of Neo with Pasha close by, going to start to look toward A with their AWP on their side. So 3 ops still in play as the round did begin.
No picks found for VP just yet, but still plenty of time to work if you can see. Neo has got control of long, and I think he did spot that player jump into a bank. I can't see who that is right now. I think it's Disco Doplin. So, and he's going to be rotating over, and Pasha, being covered by his teammate, goes to that first pick with Doplin. He has had a fantastic series so far, continues his form as he finds a second kill here for NiP. It's going to be 13-12, but the looks of things here, but still 45 seconds. Get right spot to player towards bathrooms, but VP now readjusting himself, and that's the bomb from long, rotating all the way back towards B, but his teammates trying to crack up in that bomb site for his arrival, but they're going to be shut down in pretty epic fashion as well. Exist and Freiburg full spray downs towards Monster and Short to come out on top, and it's going to be just Neo remaining. He was the player with the bomb. So time was ticking away. His teammates were just trying to crack in that bomb site. So the time he arrived, the site was clear. They had a nice red carpet laid out for him, and the bomb would have been planted, but it didn't really work out like that. This double AWP setup seems to be paying off, and it's going to be them saving all 5 weapons as well. So just Neo remains 10 seconds on the clock. I think they've got money to play. Could I have a look, please? Missed the rush. Nope, that's the map. I'm on the scoreboard.
I told you. He did that to you on purpose. He's not happy with you for calling him out a few rounds ago.
That wasn't me who called him out, was you.
It was 100% you.
Anyway, there it is. So money's pretty strong for VP, and considering NiP, they kept all 5 players alive, you can see how much they were struggling a little bit. That's a big round for them to win, keeping all 5 players alive, shutting them down, that double AWP setup as well. A huge investment. I think Forrest did glass cannon last round as well, so still not out of the woods just yet. They were to lose this round, it could be the GG moment because they would be on an eco, but, well, not an eco, they're forced by with like 3K.
Either way, good round for NiP to pick up to not let this get out of hand. Forrest, fast play, nearly finds Bialy inside of the short pipe. Instead, though, it goes the way of Virtus.Pro. That's the risk reward that you almost make or break play. You make that work. You find at least 1 kill in that situation. Now, there was trade potential as 2 of them were there, but NiP could pick up the round and start to close the economic gap as well if they could convert it. So Doesn't pay off. Op goes down. It's just Disco that has one remaining, the second one to wield, and he's going to fall back inside of the A site because he's alone on that side of the map. So this single pick, they anticipate that this will cause panic and pandemonium in terms of rotations. Suddenly they go back over toward A, and it's Disco. Who's actually so far away from this now as he starts to rotate. I mean, if he goes to the dumpster, great, but all he's doing then is covering bathrooms, the closer angles, and it means that much less time for them to call rotations. Yeah, this is actually full commitment to B. And I'm curious as to why this call has been made this early on, because they don't have any information to go off of in doing so.
Oh, they've got the big man, Doplin, ready with the AWP here. If he just gets one and buys his team some time, that could be absolutely fine. He's got a decent angle as well, considering where they're coming from. That flashbang should surely push him back slightly, which he has, so now he has to reposition, looking towards Optimus and actually get right. Takes down Taz, and there's the shot we've been waiting for. It has actually pushed things in favor of NiP. The bomb has been planted with the open hands of Snacks as well. Still anyone's round here, but decent Molotovs coming in from VP.
Disco tries to go for the trade. He has to now against Pasha. Does actually pull that off up close as Pasha looks away, not anticipating it. And Get Right on this timing.
This is actually quite nice from Get Right in the air.
Oh, that's the one thing that thwarts it, isn't it? Now they can play the time, bait this out. No smokes on top of the site. AWP in hand. Snacks hits one. It's Disco down and Exist. All right, finds the first kill. Has no kit, though. And as time continues to tick away, that's going to end it. It's already gone, even if he did have a kit at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, Snacks playing that well. If he can survive as well, that would be great. But he knows if he gets his kill, but he suggested that NiP money was pretty much ruined if they were to lose round number 11, which they did. And this is the point I was making before. Now they've got a very difficult decision. Do they allow VP to get to match point here and take the eco on the chin? Looks like they're not going to be going for that one. They will be forcing into this. This is just a very scary prospect, though. Look at the buy. No kits. Forest is glass like water pistol, I guess, with the FAMAS in hand. And we'll see what he can do here. UMP, 2 M4s, no kits, and no real utility on 2 players. You can see Forrest and Get Right, just a flashbang between them. This is a bit of a commitment play as well. You can see 2 players towards our bathroom area, pretty unorthodox, and we've got one towards middle as well. So just trying to find that first pick any way they can.
Snacks just missing his opportunity on the jumping player.
Right now, VP aren't aware whether their NiP have board into this round. They're trying to work it out. They're feeling the map out. Very slow play. Default stuff, sticking with the buddy system. So Neo and Pasha right now, if anyone faces, they've got players there to refrag. And this is going to where this bathroom setup becomes interesting. Will it pay off for NiP?
Pasha around the corner first. Missed shot from Get Right. He's able to immediately take him down, but Disco's traded it. Oh, smoke drawn. Does he get the gun back in time? No, rather, excuse me, Flash. Look like he was going to try and be a smoke to cover himself off for the escape, but Neo. And now Freiberg falling. It's a huge problem. Good pickup, though, on a return as Exist in behind the barrels, uses that of Freiberg's position as well. And they've actually pulled this back. Flash goes out, re-peek again. Taz completely blinded and Exist. He takes his time to line up the accuracy, and NiP, they'll pull this close once again. This could go the distance. I mean, this has the potential back and forth. I mean, the economy this late in the game becomes the problem when you have rounds like this. As soon as it gets 2 rounds in a row for either team, that's pretty much going to be it.
Mm-hmm. Well, 14-13. And you can see the money still isn't fantastic for NiP. Tons of money available for VP. Apart from Bialy, though, he's just got a Tech 9, but they have got the AWP advantages. So still, this could slip away from NiP at any second. They need to be very careful there. And these rounds do mean everything going forward, just in that money game. So everything in the balance right now, pretty much at this round. They managed to just get away with the last one. So an MP7, a couple of pharmacies. No kits this time. But the AWP of Snacks, they'll be looking to take them apart piece by piece. As far as is aggressive here towards the party area, does get timing working in his favor there, but fluffs this line with a shot. That was a guaranteed kill, but you see in this spraying all around him. And that's going to be the 5-on-4. At this point, VP don't need to work too hard for this round. They can just actually get positioned towards long, towards middle. And Taz looks like he'll be the bait towards the A side as his teammates go for all the way through to spawn, in fact. I thought that would just be a perfect opportunity to go for the full-on default there. A execute, they've got 4 smokes remaining, but they're going to be potentially overthinking this one, all the way back towards B. And you can see right now, if we jump on towards Taz and see what he's up to.
Well, Exist is going to be behind barrels. You're definitely reaching for it. I mean, yeah. You're kind of asking a lot, Henry. You're doing it like 3 times in a game. I might do it once a year.
1-4. You're not. Is that bad?
No, it's not. It's
form?
fine. I'm just picking on you because I can. Either way, they are stacked and ready at this point to go into the B site. And with a man down, late rotations get right, not in position in the window. This is going to be a huge problem with Exist now out of the picture as well. Site's open. It's game over. Virtus.Pro, they could put themselves on map point right now. And he comes in from Disco to try and do what it can, but it is low enough HP on Taz, and there's damage done to all but Snacks, everyone on VP right now, and Disco's going to try and open this up from the window. Now it's Get Right to come in. They have to commit. They're late in doing so. Disco down, and Get Right's just going to bail out, but it's only one gun carried over, and it's going to be 15 rounds now for Virtus.Pro. And $500 left on the belt in the pocket right now. Get Right. I mean, NiP is going to have to force whatever they can in this situation.
If he doesn't save this weapon, I can say that's pretty much GG. They get $1,400, right? No one's got much to play over at all. They'd be on P250s, 5.7s, maybe a max 7 chucked in there. But Get Right just basically needs to save his family to have any chance. And you can see VP are well aware of that situation. Everyone hunting him down, trying to sniff him out as he hides, going towards CD spawn. Can't make it happen though, so there he is. As I said, this is pretty much the GG moment because there's no real chance for them to win this round. They're up against 4 rifles and AWP as well, a fully equipped terrorist side of VP on Overpass. So here it is. The final buy comes in. It's a Scout, 2 CZs, 2 P250s, a defuse kit, 4 smokes and a flashbang. It's not pretty, but still, if Disco Doppelin, he is in great form right now. We'll see whether he can actually step up and do anything with this. He actually is going to go aggressive towards middle. And if he does find the headshot towards Snacks, that's the opening he needs, and there it is. Maybe this isn't quite over.
Disco, you know, if this is going to be a duration of time, you know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, if it's an extended period of time that he's playing with NiP, this is a good start. This is promising for them during Pith's recovery period, but this map didn't exactly go as planned, especially getting an 8-7 lead T-side at half. It looked like writing was on the wall. Virtus.Pro, they've rallied. As you say, the start they needed. Disco with the shot on the Scout. Going to try and jump up toward long, potentially a little bit more, see if he can find anything additional. Baited against Forrest. That's the big thing right now. Forrest is in that position. It's so commonly checked. You need some sort of distracting play to make that viable, to make it, I guess, even just for a one and done, for a trade, to make it effective. And that AWP, it's getting scarier and scarier. And I think Disco spotted the man there now, knows it's likely to be a sniper against him, and probably not going to re-peek out toward long.
Still have the man advantage, but just considering the firepower VP have right now, and they still have 3 smoke grenades remaining, all it would take was a simple execution, and that would be it. We've got 1 player lurking towards the B side. He's looking for any sort of aggression. He actually goes down as well. A 5-on-3. Could NiP do this with 4 pistols and a Scout? Looks like they may have a real solid chance. They do find another kill as well. It's going to be Forrest taking down Pasha, and out of nowhere, maybe it's VP just trying not to lose these rounds instead of trying to win them. Hosted them. Round number 14 against all odds.
AWP picked up from Forrest, didn't amount to much. Neo fakes it out, baits in Get Right. Exist never went to get the gun that he actually won over on the B side, the A side, B side, excuse me. That could have been a problem because if he had picked up that rifle, he might have been able to take that duel. Neo's brought this back. 1 versus 1, Deagle out. 10 HP though. Here's a pistol for Exist, but it's a pistol against 10 HP, and NiP will at least get up to 14 rounds. So we'll see all 30.
That was so smart from Neo there. Did you just see him toying with them? Those fake plans is coming in. Just like 2 players, just completely wrecking them in terms of like the awareness and what he's doing to them. But it is Exist just about getting away with it. He does salvage some upgraded weaponry as well. But how are VP losing that round? It's a Scout and 4 pistols. As I said, the phrase that comes to mind there is like they're aware of the buy that was coming in. They've read it perfectly. They said, but they're playing so passively that like they're playing to not lose instead of playing to win the round. You know, they're just holding back so much and just trying to spread themselves across the map and play so defensively. They lose that first kill. They're funneled to go into another position, and they're trying to lurk over to the other side where they have 3 on A, and he drops as well. And it's just like they're overthinking that. They just, what you need to do in those situations, you know, they've got $1,400, right? Go towards B, simple execution, Molotov the key areas, and go in as a unit. And that could have been round over. You can do that default at the start, but just stick together. You don't need lurking going on. You don't need players to sell the fake on the other side of the map. They've got pistols. Like, you don't need to go so deep in that in terms of your tactical approach. But here it is, round number 30, and a chance to go overtime. As NiP somehow clawed back in round number 29.
Forward stance as well for NiP over on A right now. In terms of the defensive positions, Disco up on top of the flower pot at long, Forrest inside the bathroom to play off of that. That allows 3 players right now for NiP inside of the B site, one of which is Exist, who's opened up the kills on to Neo. Taz will come back and Get Right, but the flash timing. Exist, how does he stay alive in this? And Freiberg kills 2 behind him. It gives him a little bit more space, but that space is taken away in the end. As Snacks He'll find the kill that's needed. Freiberg's, though, his timing, perfect. Bomb down. And Snacks, he drops it. It's going to make this into a 2 versus 1. Pasha's going to go back for it. AK in hand. Spray nearly gets it, but overtime looms with 46 seconds and NiP in the driver's seat. Again, though, Freiberg's so low, and Pasha catches him. He's peeking. There's no need.
He's only got the UMP in hand as well. He's low HP. That face towards short, that was questionable. But if he's going to be playing the B side, is there any real reason to face? Just wait for him to plant, and then you can do something with that. But we've got Disco Doppelin stepping up, the mercenary once again. 1 versus 1 against one of the most legendary CS players, Pasha Biceps.
And we know that every win counts in Pro League. We've seen that throughout the course of the first 4 seasons, how close the qualification spots are for LAN toward the end of it. So step up huge indeed for NiP to pick up this overtime point to give them potentially another win.
He's done it.
On their record, but it's 5 seconds. Oh, he's missed it. There's a huge chance here. Pasha, he's got the plant down, but he gets taken out in the end by Disco, who knows exactly where he was. He relines it up. That could have been costly. Either way, it's going to be overtime for NiP and Virtus.Pro.
What the hell was that? I thought, okay, Doppelin, 100% not going to miss that one. He's been hitting some nut shots all night, but somehow that happened. So what happens here? It looks like it's on him, to be fair.
I think it might have been high and right, or high and left, but either way, good for him for at least figuring out that he had to commit. He had to be in that position.
That would have been such a horrible way to finish up.
I want to kind of see that again. I wonder if the crouch animation just started.
Yeah, I'd have to watch this animation.
And it threw it off, but yeah, interesting. Either way, they pull it off. That's all that matters. And now it's 15-15, so equal halves, 8-7. Both teams winning the terrorist side of Overpass.
Yeah,
that's
there it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm not aware of the overtime.
We watched a lot of replays. And we get ready.
No, like, what's the format? Is it MR3 in this one?
I was hoping there'd be replays. It should be MR3. ESL typically runs MR3 10K.
No 16K this time?
No 16K, which interestingly enough, we did see at Assembly. So MR, normally we see 16K when it's MR5. Yeah. We saw MR3 16K, which had an interesting aspect to it because it meant that you never had to...
That was dead on him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dead on him. So...
That's interesting. Thank you for doing that, producer. That's pretty awesome that we got that quickly. One player from NiP's left the server. Had an issue this duration, but no, I was going to say the 16K. So the cool thing, what it did in the overtime in this situation we saw at Assembly is if you lose 2 rounds in a row in the 10K and you buy in as you would do, you're likely going to have to be forcing in the third.
Especially on the CT side. Yeah.
Exactly. So the one thing it did, meant that there was no force buys. It was a straight up brawl in overtime, as it should be. Yeah. But we saw in Dust 2, it meant that you could buy 5 auto snipers, drop them, and go back to regular guns because there was no punishment.
That's basically the tease where if they won the first gun round, they thought, okay, we've got money for days now, and they basically have 16K going into round number 2, and then they think, right, 5 auto snipers, and they'd kill like 2 players with the door, and then they could just keep doing that every round. For the last remaining 2 rounds, it did kind of break Dust 2 in a way in overtime. It was kind of fun. It was a bit of an experiment. I think that's the first tournament we've ever seen that. Yeah. I think it was Lapis that proposed that idea. You can see exactly where he's coming from. You want overtime to be purely vanilla CS. You don't want the money to be a factor. You want to see the pure skill going into those 3 rounds each half.
There was a cool thing that someone tweeted at Lurpus that he even agreed was a better solution, though. Why not just reset the money every round? Give them 10K every round.
Is that possible in terms of like keeping the score on the board?
That's the hard part. There's a programming aspect. I mean, maybe start with 12K would prevent it as well, but if you could just reset the money every single round, then it wouldn't matter, would it?
Yeah, if you could find a way to do that, absolutely.
You wouldn't have to do 10K, though, because then you could still do the auto sniper thing. So it'd have to be, if you reset every round, you have to do like 6K or something, or 65.
Yeah, that's a really tricky situation, isn't it? Yeah. Because if you kept doing that, they'd definitely have 10K every round. Yeah, I guess the maximum buy you can get in a terrorist side. So that means like you get an AWP.
On the CT side would be the more expensive.
So if you wanted an AWP and 4 utility diffuse kit, Deagle, that's the limit you set it to. And it means you can't buy an auto sniper, then get a rifle afterwards, right?
100%.
And then you reset that every round. That's the way to do it. That's, we are getting into this one. I think we have got a small issue. Or is it just missing? Is it get right? I believe it is, yeah. So we'll take a wander around Overpass. There's some balloons. They can be popped if you are wondering. And there is a pink elephant as well. Matt, do you want to tell us about the pink elephant? I know you've got a little fact about that as well.
Yeah, it's actually in the game as an homage to me. That was what I cuddled every night when I went to bed in the first 10 years of my life. And the 10 years after that as well.
Giraffe, of course. He's actually called Jeffrey. And
really?
Yep.
Do you know why he has a long neck?
I said neck. No, I don't. Why is that?
No, I can't tell you.
Okay, fair enough.
It's useful, though.
Oh, right. Yeah, I can probably imagine why. So we're still focusing on the party area. Maybe you go and show us some more interesting facts, Rush, about this map. What's your favorite area? I'm guessing
the
with
bathrooms,
you,
obviously, the men's washroom. That's his favorite. Oh, he likes the observer PC, as if he knew that was there. He instantly just goes to this is my favorite spot. This is where I work. That's his favorite place.
Alone in the office.
In the ESL offices. To be fair, can we go back and get it? This is a map based in Germany. That building kind of looks like it could be the ESL offices.
Do you remember that tournament we went to and they replaced all these signs with like logos?
Yes, that was Star Ladder.
That's right, yeah. That's really cool. We should do that again. Here's another office for you. This brand of monitor was very popular in Germany in the 90s. So you can see every office was kitted out with them, and the same desk as well. So everyone, and the chairs, of course, as well. So we'll see how furnishings have evolved over the years. That chair was a famous. That was like when they designed that chair the first time around, Matt. Like it didn't have wheels. People weren't sure what was going on with it, but it's a design that stood the test of time, you know. And right now that I know this is a plot you want to talk to. Every time we go here, you've always got something to say about the playground.
I just want to go down the slide.
There we go.
I don't hang around in playgrounds often. I find that unbecoming of a single man in his mid-20s. Probably not somewhere I want to be spotted too commonly, but yeah, no, I like going on the slide with no ladder. By the way, you have to be a real man to climb that one.
I used a slide about 3 days ago, actually, as a grown man.
Really?
Yes, I went to.
Were you drunk?
No,
going home
actually,
from the bar?
I guess I was. I was in an indoor mini golf course in London, and they
mini golf's legit.
So they had like these crazy obstacles set up, and one of the holes you had to climb up like a big ladder, and then you got the ball in, and so the only way down was to go down the ladder, to go down the slide because there were people behind you, so you had to go on the slide.
Right.
And it was quite funny. The friends I was with, we had like a girl was in a skirt, and then he had to fly down. You can imagine what probably happened. Like a little bit drunk,
isn't it?
And he just like, it was amazing. But,
Get right joined and then joined the team and got booted again right away. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of config issue now that we've gone into overtime. Okay, no, was just an overlay issue. He is here. Freeze time has been lifted. We are going to go overtime. It is MR3 10K, the standard formation of overtime. And it's an op already out for Disco single op. Interestingly enough, we did see NiP try and run the dual op with, I think, one round quite good success for starting off, but then another where he kind of overextended and didn't really work out. So they don't want to overinvest again. As we mentioned, you can save in overtime if it doesn't pay off. Yeah, especially on the CD side, like if you go for a double AWP setup in the first round, if you lose that round with all 5 players going down, that can be so devastating in terms of losing the second. I mean, third round, you're very limited indeed. But here we go then. It is going to be the first round of overtime here. Nothing really separating these teams at all on Overpass. Nuke was a pretty one-sided affair, but VP finding some form in map number 2. Kick things off, Doplin. It's interesting, like I said before, like he's the mercenary coming into this team, and as far as we've seen with this AWP, and he'll be handing over the responsibility to the young Swede. As he does go for the reface here. Needs some flashbangs from his teammates, but it's not enough. Snacks takes the advantage. And there's up to Forrest now to see if he can get another kill here, but he can't. Pasha takes him down. This is much better play from VP here. Sticking together as a unit, quite methodical, refragging together, but this is smart from Go. I like that a lot. Get right. Does pay off this time to get aggressive. Snacks will eventually find him down, but 2 kills his way. It's something to work with in NiP, because ultimately nothing was going their way in the round. There was so much advancement from VP. Smokes go out, 1 top bank, 1 at the mouth of long, which is kind of peculiar. There's a Molotov to clear out the truck, but this is all, yeah, okay, this is why. So Bialy's gone into B, he's cleared it out, has the information. They just want to keep the players there long enough in that A site to rotate back over to B, but keep in mind as well, although this should work with Bialy anchoring it down, it's the second fastest rotation map aside from Nuke, and unlike Nuke, the rotations very much only favor the CTs.
10 seconds remain. And VP will be... Oh, that's a decent incendiary. Considering the time remaining as well, that's quite a smart move. And unfortunately for NiP, its Exister goes down after dropping a decent incendiary. Freiburg, another clutch situation. Stepped up on Nuke and looking to do the same thing here. He gets the first 2, both headshots. The Snack separates him from another 1 versus 3 victory for his incendiary, but he has been taken out to low HP. Snacks does face and take him down. Decent effort there from Freiburg, who has actually had a decent couple of games here. And we'll see what VP bring to the table in round number 2. But they open things up. And you can see that double AWP. This is the money situation I'm talking about, Matt. You can see after this reinvestment, after all 5 players go down, Disco Doppler only has $450. Forrest, even worse. So this is kind of testament to what we were talking about before. That's why Lopez had the idea of bringing the 16K thing, so we saw 3 gun rounds on either half of the overtime. But I think there's definitely some future for that idea. We'll just have to see how we can make it work properly.
Yeah, I do agree. But either way, It's Virtus.Pro in the driver's seat early on. Op set up on either side. It's Snacks. Taz again clearing out this underpass area. He's been quite successful in doing so. In fact, caught Forrest in behind the stairwell in the first half. Good shot from Forrest. Very small peak to find, but he legs up Pasha. Decent damage dealt, and they get away fast enough that there's no punishment this time for that boost. Remember last time as well in regulation, NiP got caught there quite severely in a hesitation play, and he who hesitates loses. They were late to get away and get back to the site. Still, though, VP are going to set for picks.
Indeed, and once again, working toward long A. It seems they were successful before they got those initial frags. It was Doppler that dropped first, but this time it's Forrest on the AWP. This is what I was talking about. It was strange to see the inconsistencies of that role, but this time Forrest holding the same position towards long A. We'll be playing a bit more passively, though. The smoke comes in, that's designed to take away the vision of the defending CT. A grenade lands on his head as well, so that's giving his position away. They know that nade would have been effective, and they will commit towards long as well. There's going to be a full execution towards the A side, but they are segregated in a way that there's one player towards the B side, so if they were to find themselves in a tricky exchange, could fall apart, but it's Get Right who will be challenged first, but it's got a lot of smoke to negate at the same time.
Shot in from Get Right again this time, who's trying to find yet another double, swaps the gun. No reload necessary, and he hits Neo post-plant. But keep that in mind, it is post-plant. Virtus.Pro do get a bomb down. Taz, he's going to hold off rotations, but he's caught by Freiberg. Very fast position indeed. And Snacks just caught no man's land immediately after with the AWP because he wasn't anticipating everyone to go down so quickly. As Forrest will close the round, then we go back to a level playing field once more. 16-16. No saves required this overtime.
That's perfect for NiP. Like we said, the money would have been in tatters if they were to lose that round, so they managed to keep the double AWP setup going here. And this is Get Right. What a play from him as well. His first kill was got gifted to him, but he picks up the AK-47 and through the smokes, just wildly spraying is the headshot towards Neo. So that was a pretty cool play from him, and actually secures the round pretty much single-handedly. Going to the final round of the first set of overtime here. It's going to be 2 AKs in the hands of the CTs and 2 AWPs as well. They're looking very strong indeed. You can see VP money hasn't been so much of an issue for them. They keep getting the bomb down, and it's going to be double AWP set up for them as well. So 4 AWPs on the server, and Snacks coming out of short tunnel there, seeing if anyone will dare to jump over and boost. Well, jump over and get info. That was quite a common tactic before that update that fixed the jumping hitboxes. Now it's not so common. It's actually really risky to even do that as a CT, especially against the Eagles. That seems to land more often than not.
VP with Snacks to lead the charge on an AWP is going to start to clear bags. Behind those barrels, though, exist. He's played there so much and yet not really had much utility used against him to flush him out. And it's so hard to find the angle for Snacks because he has to commit so far even to get a peek at it. And that is the problem because Freiberg can find him. But instead of that, okay, now that's going to be infuriating for Snacks. He's got blocked up. Great shot, great flick onto Freiberg, but gets blocked by his teammate trying to escape the site and gets taken down as a result. That's a big team fumble. And as a result, NiP's capitalizing. Disco finding a kill in this. Forrest as well exists on the board. It's Get Right, the other member of NiP that is still alive in this versus the 2 of Virtus.Pro.
Well, it looks like this round will be going in favor of the Ninjas. Currently a 4-on-2 situation. Does Taz and Bialy remain? And Forrest, okay, doesn't land the shot, but does find out where they are with 20 seconds remaining as well. He can pretty much call to his teammates their final move is towards the A-bomb site. Taz finds the kill, but Get Right here to slow them down and potentially find a couple of his own.
Get Right, good shot onto Taz. Follow up, not quite there, but it's still a 2 versus 1. Bialy has time to plant 8 seconds, just barely, but they are split up in NiP. And a smoke's still out at the top of the stairwell. It means Exist has to tap away and find the shot. He'll do so, and NiP, they'll close back with 2 straight to take the first half of the first overtime. I almost get a mouthful out of that one, but it is going to be 17-16, Henry.
It is, and that's pretty good news, I guess, for NiP. They had a strong terrorist half in regulation, so the fact they've won the CT this time is very promising indeed.
Watch this, though. So Snacks hits a lovely shot and then blocked.
Lovely stuff. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I see what you mean. I didn't see that actually happening when it's going on, so I was wondering what the block could have actually done, but that's got to be frustrating for sure. 17-16, and we'll see whether NiP can close things out here. 1 round will do it for the draw, and to guarantee another set of overtime, 2 to win. So still anyone's game really is, I guess, if you're being objective at CT-sided map. And we'll see if you can bounce back if they were to lose that first round. But a lot of pressure going towards them, especially if they go for that double AWP setup initially.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that NiP, like you say, this is a pretty good position for them to be in, is able to pick up the CT rounds required. Obviously, overtime is a very different beast in the fact that economy is not really a factor in terms of getting pissed around, I guess, that cushion, that 3-iron cushion, but it definitely breaks the trend of what regulation showed. Virtus.Pro, same thing applies to them when I mentioned Disco, getting them into overtime and winning that 1 versus 1, how important that is at the end of the season for NiP. The same can be said for VP. Let's not forget, in some people's opinion, a controversial manner, by way of popularity, Virtus.Pro get another chance after, in my opinion, rightfully being dismissed from the league last year in terms of their own performance, rightfully in that it was their own fault.
Yeah.
They have to pick up wins. They have to prove that they're in this league from the very beginning this year.
It's like losing an online game to NiP wouldn't really be like the worst thing to happen in the world, but considering they have a mercenary coming in, you've just won E-League as well, you'd think, okay, we really screwed it the first season. Let's actually, well, the last season, sorry. Let's maybe rectify that and make sure we have a solid performance, things we have been gifted back into this actual league itself. But it's going to be a full-on B rush here from NiP, just starting things out. That's actually a really nice execution. I love these fast ones. You can get those smokes down very quickly, but Taz does find the first kill. That's on towards
Oh, he's trying to do the showtime.
Oh, that's definitely an interesting move, and you've got the AWP in your hand as well, but it's going to be a demand advantage still for VP. Just need to stay alive and wait for the teammates to rotate in, then they'll make their move as Snacks gets the second kill.
And I think Neo actually got caught on the lip of the site. He was actually on the wrong side of the railing, and he thought that he was going to run in closer to the default position because he was nowhere near it in the end. However, it may not matter. Virtus.Pro, okay, they almost line up. Get right. He's got a chance at this. He's pulled it back. He's back through the smoke as well. We can seal, but he recommits. He goes back in, and Bialy finds him. I would have thought surely he'd just slip away at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. That didn't make any sense. Like, you look at the bomb, he's not even there. I guess maybe he thought he was defusing with the very corner of the bomb site there. Like, that looked like it was planted in such a way that he could have got a defuse in there without him being able to see it. I guess that's all I can really think of. His teammates are probably calling, bad plan, bad plan, bad plan. And they're like, you can see how close he's still winning the round, you couldn't spot him. That's all I can really take away from that, because a player of his caliber, he knows he doesn't need to face if he spots a bomb. That's the only thing I can point out.
The crosshair placement might be indicative of that if you went back to look as well.
So yeah, I guess that's it. He saw the ones on the bomb, then his teammates shouted bad plan, and he's like, okay, need to go and have a look at this. Investigate. But still, that would have been a sick clutch from Get Right.
That would have been huge. 17-17 Virtus.Pro, NiP, map 2. I should say game 2 again.
Yeah.
For those of you just joining us, it's not a series. It's every game counts. It's just double headers.
You get points for a win, basically.
That's lovely. Okay. Taz gets taken down. They boost up Disco. One tap toward the window, and NiP take first blood late in this game. And Neo is going to try and compensate for this, but Get Right's already made his way to bags as well. As they shuffled in position, he's actually crossed over that choke point, and he can just cover this off. So very good. Oh, does he hear the scope in? I think he did. He went for the peak. Neo couldn't hit the shot down to 5 HP, but he does still have the AWP. So if he can find an angle where he's not exposed, he could still be able to pick up a kill on the entrance.
And luckily for him, they haven't got any HE grenades remaining. They know exactly where he is, and they've done a ton of damage there. You'd expect an airstrike at that point, but they won't have that option there. 45 seconds remaining. Looks like the terrorists will be going towards B. They still have all of their smokes, Molotovs as well. They could do that full-on execution again with the man advantage, knowing that Neo's low on the side as well. These smokes will take him out of the round, but he manages to get the first shot regardless. Bialy chiming in as well, but here comes a real problem here. But Bialy just stepping up, another kill through the smoke for him.
And you saw how Neo adjusted his play style. Bialy timing, pops back out. It's down to another one-on-one.
Great position.
Yeah, this is big. This is massive. Freiburg thinks that it's going to be coming in from water. Instead, it's out from Monster, and Pasha's timing is perfect. Virtus.Pro will now get the first map point of this game, of this overtime, rather, excuse me. Yeah, but really smart from Neo. Again, he went down to 5 HP. You said it. No nades. They couldn't do anything. Instantly, instead of being aggressive with the AWP, he just sits and holds an angle. He finds one kill, gives Bialy the freedom.
That's all he wanted to do. Like he said, well, I've been removing this round from an HP point of view, so I'll just get one kill, and that's enough for me. Set Bialy up. Hopefully, he can deliver the goods here. Gets a bit lucky with that kill for the smoke, but it doesn't matter. This is not luck at all. That's great play with the USP, taking down a huge scalp in the form of Forest, and it's now map point, and indeed match point, as we described earlier. And you can see now the money still is there for the NiP, of course, but double AWP set up for VP. Last round of the first set of overtime here. It still has potential to be double overtime for sure. That's still very likely, as Neo does go aggressively towards Monster. Change of pace here. He hasn't done this just yet. First kill comes in. It's in favor of Forest, but Neo quickly responds, taking down the mercenary of the team. Disco Doplin, 4-on-4, which I guess still does favor the terrorist if you were to try and break it down, and he's one in that situation. Now it's just a matter of bleeding the CTs out. NiP got to wait and see if there is any reaction from the CTs right now. You can see they've got 2 players towards the end of long A, hoping they're going to farm something out of this. But the problem is they're so committed. If they don't get anything going for themselves the next 30 seconds, they'll be almost guaranteed to push that position and see if they can get some information. There's the reaction. So nothing to work with. Neo's pushing towards short. And now once again, NiP can hold up, see where the next mistake will come from.
Such an interesting push considering the information at long.
You can see NiP, they're reading this so well. They're holding towards long. There it is. Absolutely perfect. Man.
I expected a flash to come in. Pasha faced the wall. I thought Bialy...
That's like textbook CS that's being played by NiP. That's really intelligent stuff, you know?
Man, Bialy doesn't have a flash in that situation, unfortunately, as I realize now. But, I mean, that was just... NiP, patience is a virtue. So Taz and Bialy have to close this, or it's double overtime indeed as NiP rotates back toward the B side. It's Taz that's going to confront on the way through. Has the information, spots his shoulder, goes for the peek, plays around the pillar. He's got 2, bomb goes down. He's done so well. He heard them coming and he played the time against them in a flash out. Taz has done it. Virtus.Pro will go 1-1 to start the season as they split with NiP on opening night of Season 4.
Just as I was saying, it was perfect CS being played from the Swedes. They go towards that B side, and Taz, great position there. They all went towards short. They didn't split it at all, so they gave him a lot of room to work with there in terms of that pillar. Flashbangs come in. It actually works out pretty nicely for him. He has the pillar to dance around, and that's a good way to finish it. VP go 3-0 in overtime in the second half. And we opened up with Nuke. We thought VP are going to be struggling like they usually were in Pro League, but stepping up and closing things out 1-1. Not a bad day at the office, considering.
Not a bad day at all. I mean... Again, you go back to iterate the fact last season how slow they were to get rolling online. And I thought, okay, NiP, it's still one of the upper teams in the league. There's no question about it. You can't take that away. It's going to be a challenge, but if they have the mercenary in, maybe Virtus.Pro's a chance. I don't think that was actually a factor in this.
I don't think so either.
I think Disco was excellent.
I think he was performing above and beyond expectations, so that's absolutely not a factor. He was slotting into that role very nicely, and actually, I think he was top fragging for both maps of NiP there. So
at least at one point in time, I didn't see where he finished in this one, but I think you're right. That said, we're going to throw it over to the analysts. Night 1 of ESL Pro League Season 4, at least for Europe, is done and dusted, and it's FaZe that come out 2-0 to currently lead the scoreboard. Over to you guys.
Thank you so much. That's Henry G and Sadakis. They're kind of first day on the job here for the ESL Season 4, ESL Pro League. Good to have those guys with us. We do love them dearly.
Their work started yesterday, Alex, with their stream.
Yes, it did. They'll be dropping the bomb. And indeed, we have to talk a little bit about that game now, as Overpass is done and, as they said, dusted. Virtus.Pro do manage to stay level and not start that horrible fashion that they started last season, of course, struggling to accumulate many wins. In fact, 18 losses accumulated over the season. We do, though, see them go 1-1, and that was a nice kind of closing performance for Virtus.Pro. Let me try.
Okay, it's only day 1, Alex. Like, we're warming up.
Excuse me. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about their performance on Overpass, because that was by no means a kind of open and shut case for the polls.
Yeah, well, I think it was obvious. One thing was obvious, at least, that they're much more comfortable on Overpass than they are on Nuke. You could see that they had a lot more set plays in place. And of course, when you play against a team like NiP, especially when they play with a stand-in, they don't have as much pressure on them, so they play more loose. And that caused problems for VP here and there. But in the end, they managed to pull through with some great individual performances in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, NiP at one point, it looked like they were going to be closing it out. I mean, there was close to a clutch moment. We got to see Neo just getting a little cocky with that deagle. But it did go back and forth for a while, Mitch.
It defies belief, yeah. Neo going for the deagle in that moment. He still had an AK, which is perfectly good at getting the shots. But yeah, I mean, there's Bialy, though. He turned it up when he had to. That was a very important round for him. The peek around the pillar with the USP is something purely born from a gamer's instinct. That's just not something you can really write there. Set it up really nicely. I think, Disco's been really, really good. I mean, I don't want to sit on this topic too much here as well, because it's hard to say. But yeah, maybe a bit closer than it should have been if you think about the past. If you think about past results, yes, they were LAN, and this is also like a better map for VP, and this is just not a good map at all for NiP. Now, if this was maybe Envious playing Overpass, it would have been a much bigger difference. Envious really struggle on that one map that they don't play. So this is the one map that NiP don't really touch too much. It's not too bad against VP here.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't be complaining too much, especially with the stand-in. Doppler did perform, but let's have a quick reminder of how we did get here. You mentioned it already, FaZe are going to be leading the leaderboard, but this is what we did witness today. They started with a rather intriguing 2 maps. We got to see them over on Train and Mirage. We'll be talking a bit more about that in just a moment, and then of course NiP and VP going across, splitting the series between Nuke and Overpass. What's funny though is FaZe and X played elsewhere as well, and it was a completely different result. I saw tweets from the entirety of FaZe, Yanko, saying, "We love Cobble." Did you see the result in the end?
Yes, Team X beat FaZe 16-0 on Cobble.
Damn.
And, I think in that series, while they had more kills than FaZe, Jacob, AZ, and Alu combined. So it was the complete opposite of what happened in Pro
Hot and
League.
cold for FaZe, but they are hot here at the ESL Pro League, and you can see where they puts them on the standings. They are going to be holding that top spot. And admittedly, it is day one, but we'll be seeing those that league table. We'll be able to see exactly how everything does shape up. I think we were going to be looking at.
I think VP is going to be higher than they ever were in Pro League before.
Whoa.
That's a big statement. We don't actually have the table to show you, but I can tell you right now, FaZe are at the top of it. That's how maths works. They've got 2 wins under their belt. VP and NiP joint 1. Wow, I just told you the table looks like without even having to show
Perfect.
it. Who needs graphics?
What are the other teams in the league, Alex?
Let me just, I've just got a tab open here. No, moving away from those and into what's coming up in North America, of course. It's not just Europe, as we've already said. It is just the European stuff that's done for our first day. The debut of the North American Pro League is going to be kicking off today. And we can show you exactly what's going to be coming up. We're going to be starting with Cloud9 Liquid, a battle of the blue logos. Following that, we get Complexity and Optic. Damn, Cloud9. Will that be the debut of Automatic with C9? That might very well be. If that's been confirmed, I don't know.
Well, we can always speculate.
I've looked at Reddit. That's all I've done.
There are a lot of changes that people think are coming up, but not really sure about that one yet. The blue logos. Nice.
Battle of the blue logos. Let's stick with that one.
The horse versus the cloud.
The horse versus the cloud, and the circle versus the other circle intersecting with another circle. There you go. That's the logos explained to you. We've had a fantastic evening, and if you have enjoyed yourselves, fear not, because we'll be back a little earlier than today with more European Counter-Strike tomorrow. Let me show you what's coming up tomorrow. This is what we have. We have Team X returning, this time versus NiP, and on Cobblestone. That should be interesting, especially considering they did just 16-0 FaZe on that very map. Overpass as well for NiP after conceding it to Virtus.Pro, so these should be very intriguing matches. Following that, we get to see the boys from VP face versus FaZe. All round, it's going to be a fantastic set of games, 2 best of 2s to look forward to, and all round a fantastic way to start off our league. This is Season 4, $750,000 and 14 teams from either region just battling it out and showing us the very best CS has to offer. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Mitch, I love you, and I love your shirt. I like the linen as well from Yanko. Just a little bit of a fashion
just
critique.
Like me, but you love Mitch.
I mean,
that's so biased, Alex, because you both
Yanko,
work for ESL. No, it's fine.
We've bonded. We bonded in Austin.
It's fine.
We had a moment, actually, in Texas. We really did. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and disappear. We do come back. It's going to be a little earlier. It's going to be starting at 5 o'clock if you are here on Central European time. So we'll see you then for more of the same.
Central European summertime.